It starts quietly, almost invisibly. No one notices at first. You're 7 years old, standing in a room that feels heavier than it should. You're looking into the eyes of a parent who is unraveling. Maybe it's addiction, maybe it's rage, maybe it's depression, maybe it's just the cold, empty silence of someone who can't show up emotionally. And without anyone saying a word, something ancient switches on inside you. If I don't hold this together, everything will fall apart. This is how a child disappears. Not physically, psychologically. You smile more, you cry less, you learn to read the atmosphere before you speak, you sense tension before anyone raises their voice, you become the emotional thermostat of the household, adjusting yourself to keep everyone else stable. You become small and careful, you become useful, you become an adult long before your nervous system is ready to carry that weight, and the world praises you for it. You're so mature, so responsible, so strong. But no one ever stops to ask the question that actually matters. At what cost? This is the invisible grief of those who grew up too fast. And today we're going deep into the psychology of that child, because the effects don't fade with age. They don't magically disappear when you turn 18. They follow you into your relationships, into your work, into your body, into the way you measure your worth. And if you never understand what happened, you'll spend your adult life repeating the same survival patterns that once kept you alive, but are now quietly draining you. Let's start with what's really happening beneath the surface. When a child is forced to emotionally support adults instead of being supported by them, psychologists call this parentification. It's when a child becomes the caregiver, the mediator, the peacekeeper, the emotional container, the one who listens, the one who absorbs, the one who doesn't break. This isn't just unhealthy, it's developmental trauma. Because when a child is consistently responsible for emotional regulation, their own and everyone else's, their brain adapts around survival. Hypervigilance forms. Your nervous system learns that safety depends on constant awareness. You scan faces, you track moods, you predict explosions before they happen. You learn that love is conditional. You learn that harmony must be earned. You learn that your needs are dangerous, but everyone else's needs are urgent. So you disappear, not in body, but in essence. And in your place, a highly functional version of you takes over. The good child, the easy one, the high achiever, the therapist friend, the one who never asks for too much, the one who never needs help. You wear this identity so well that eventually even you forget it's a mask. But deep inside, something hurts. Something aches quietly. Because the child you buried didn't die. They're still there, still watching, still waiting. Still asking the question no one ever answered, why didn't anyone protect me? As you grow older, the symptoms evolve. They become more complex, more subtle, more socially acceptable. You might become hyper-independent, refusing help even when you're drowning. You might push people away or stay emotionally distant while craving closeness. You might feel numb during happy moments because joy feels unfamiliar, undeserved, or unsafe. Rest makes you anxious. Stillness feels wrong. Productivity becomes your proof of worth. And the most dangerous part, you may not even realize you're still living in survival mode. Because when chaos is normalized early, your nervous system accepts it as baseline. Peace feels suspicious. Calm feels temporary. Love feels like a debt you'll eventually have to repay. This is the psychology of a child forced to grow up too fast. It's not just sadness, it's complex trauma that reshapes how you relate to the world and to yourself. You might wonder why any child would take on a role like this. Why would a child sacrifice their own needs so completely? The answer is simple and devastating. Children will do anything for attachment, even abandon themselves. The choice is never conscious. It's biological. In the absence of safety, the child chooses belonging over authenticity. That's not weakness, that's intelligence, that's instinct, that's survival. But the tragedy is this: what saved you then may be imprisoning you now. So many adults are walking around high-functioning on the outside, while deeply neglected children are running the inner world. We overachieve to earn love. We stay silent to avoid abandonment. We take care of everyone else while secretly wishing someone would finally ask if we're okay. And that fantasy, that one day someone will notice you're not as strong as you pretend to be, that you'll finally be allowed to collapse and be held, that fantasy belongs to the child who never got to be a child. Healing doesn't start with fixing. It starts with witnessing, because until you validate what actually happened, you'll keep gaslighting yourself. It wasn't that bad. Others had it worse. I turned out fine. But fine is a mask too. And deep down, you know it. So what happens to that child when they grow up? They become adults who don't feel safe even in quiet rooms. They become lovers who struggle to trust softness. They become givers who can't receive. They apologize for crying. They flinch at compliments. They confuse exhaustion with success. This is the cost of growing up too fast. If your childhood taught you to be strong instead of soft, quiet instead of honest, responsible instead of protected, then your adulthood often becomes a continuation of holding your breath, waiting for permission to finally fall apart. But here's the truth no one told you. No one is coming to rescue the child you buried. You are the one who must go back. You are the one who must reach out. You are the one who must say the words no one ever said. You didn't deserve that. You were just a child. You don't have to carry this anymore. This is where shadow work begins, not by performing healing, not by bypassing pain with positivity, but by turning toward the abandoned parts of yourself and saying, I see you now, I hear you now, and I'm not leaving. And that process is brutal because it asks you to feel the grief you never had time to feel, the rage you swallowed, the sadness you postponed. It asks you to mourn the birthdays where no one showed up, the nights you were strong when you should have been comforted, the innocence you lost while protecting people who were supposed to protect you. But that grief isn't weakness, it's proof of thawing. What was once frozen is finally moving. In adulthood, this survival pattern shows up everywhere. You might become the emotional caretaker in every relationship. You might be praised for your independence while secretly terrified of being a burden. You might overfunction in partnerships, fixing, managing, explaining, and wonder why resentment grows quietly inside you. Boundaries feel cruel. Saying no feels like betrayal. But these aren't personality traits. They're learned coping strategies. And what's learned can be unlearned. One of the most powerful questions you can ask yourself is this: what did I need back then that I never received? The answers are often simple and devastating. Safety, comfort, reassurance, permission to rest, permission to play, permission to exist without responsibility. And slowly, painfully slowly, you begin giving those things to yourself, not to change the past, but to stop reliving it. This is how you stop searching for parents in your partners. This is how you stop mistaking anxiety for intuition. This is how you stop running from the child you were and the self you're becoming. Carl Jung once said that there is no coming to consciousness without pain, and this work demands that pain, all of it, the neglected parts, the ashamed parts, the frightened parts. Because healing isn't about becoming someone new, it's about remembering who you were before survival reshaped you. If you grew up too fast, know this: your maturity was never the problem. The problem was that you had no choice. But now you do. You can choose softness. You can choose rest. You can choose to stop managing everyone else's emotions and start listening to your own. There will be days you feel small again. Good, that means the child is coming home. Let them cry, let them play, let them finally be seen. You're not broken, you're becoming whole. And maybe for the first time, you're growing up the right way, not through pressure, not through fear, but through truth. You may not have had a childhood, but you still have a future. And this time you get to write it.